Hey everybody, Hunter, Fisher, Trapper, Trader, Guide, Scout, and Interpreter, and just a country cook, Steve Hall, here in Nashville, Tennessee, along with pretty Miss Sheila running that camera. Hi, Sheila.
Hi.
Today we're going to make Pico de Gallo. I hope that's how you pronounce it, but all I know is it's easy to make. You use Roma tomatoes, but I got some tips that you're going to love. Come on over, let's get started. Now the perfect tomato for this recipe is a Roma tomato. Cut the top off of it and then slice it endwise. Take all the seeds out because they're a real meaty tomato. I got 4 of these cut up and it turned out to be 2 cups. I'm making kind of a small batch because it's just me and Sheila. And we love to use this stuff on tacos or chips or whatever. So 4 of those Roma tomatoes made 2 cups of our little diced, no seeds in them, tomatoes. And then we're going to put in 1 cup of sweet onions. Now, there are a few recipes floating around where people use red onions because they like a stronger flavor. And you can do that. If you like a stronger onion flavor in your Pico de Gallo, use red onions. But I like sweet onions, these sweet Vidalias. And I also like cilantro. So we're going to even it up with the onions. 1 cup of onions, 1 cup of real fine chopped cilantro. Seems like a lot, but I like it in there. We'll get it all mixed in. You can use less if you want, but I really like that in there. And I will tell you, you know me when it comes to stuff in the can, stuff in the jar. I have about 4 little containers of cilantro in the refrigerator that are already cut up. But I actually went last night to Kroger's and I bought a little bundle of cilantro. In fact, I used that jet plane that's flying over there. I didn't chop it up real good, did I? And I actually chopped it up because I wanted some good fresh cilantro in here. Now once we get these 3 little goodies mixed up, here's where you can kind of do what you want to do. I'm going to put some jalapeno peppers in here. Now let me explain something. These are out of the jar in the refrigerator, so you'll notice they still have the seeds in them. That's where the heat is. If you buy them in the store and cut the cap off, cut them lengthwise, take the seeds out, and then cut them up, you do got to kind of protect your fingers and wash them. You don't want to wipe your eye because you'll end up crying for a year. But the jalapeno peppers that they have in the grocery stores are not as hot as they used to be because there's so many recipes out there where people are making stuffed jalapenos. You can get them all the restaurants and stuff. And we're going to do it on this show too, that the growers have made them not as hot. You know, they kind of genetically, I don't know how they do it. But I'm only going to put in about a half a teaspoon of jalapeno peppers in here. And Sheila will eat it with a little bit of spice, but not too much. And the only reason I went with half a teaspoon is because it had the seeds in there. And the stuff that comes in the jar, if you buy a little jar of diced jalapenos, they're way hotter always than the ones in the store that you buy whole. So I didn't do a very good job of chopping up my cilantro. I was kind of in a hurry. So chop it all up and pick out the big pieces. That's all I can tell you. Then, let me grab a knife. I'll be right back. All right, I'm back with my knife and I'm going to cut this lime in half here and put in the juice of about half a lime. I'm going to dump it in here first. Make sure I don't get seeds in my little Pico de Gallo. And so the juice of half of a lime. Oh man, that's going to be so good. And then you want to hit it with some kosher salt. Not a lot, but just enough to do what we want it to do over the next 30 minutes. And what I mean by that is we're going to stir that salt in. And here's one of those tips that I'm going to tell you about. You want to set this in the refrigerator for the next 30 minutes. And that salt is going to pull all the flavor out of those tomatoes and out of those onions and really give it such a, oh, it just smells so good right now. But wait till salt has did its thing on here. And then we'll show you what it looks like in about a half hour. See you then. Okay, this has been in the refrigerator for about 30 minutes. The salt has done its thing. Man, it's just smelling so good. I forgot a little something. I added about a half a teaspoon of garlic. I use kind of a garlic paste, comes in a tube. I really like it. And I picked quite a bit of the cilantro out because I'm used to making a double batch where I always use 1 cup for all the other stuff, but for this recipe I only used 2 cups of tomatoes, 1 cup of onions, and start out with a half a cup of cilantro. But I still like cilantro. I mean, you almost can't have too much in there. So let's add the cilantro back to half a cup. Added the garlic, let it set for 30 minutes, and piled it up on a chip. Look at that. Does that look good, Sheila, or what?
Is that mine?
that is yours. Let me hand it over to you.
Hey.
There you go. Make me redish another chip. Can you believe that? Man, oh man. But this is great on your tacos. Man, I got to give this a try. Wow. Man, this is fresh and delicious. I did pick a little bit of that cilantro back out of there. I threw in that garlic that I forgot, stirred it all in, but them jalapeno peppers, that's not too hot, is it, Sheila?
No.
I just used a little bit of those, and if you use the ones out of the store, they're not quite as hot. But start out with a half a cup of cilantro and chop it real fine. I'm so used to using it already chopped up in them little round containers that I had some bigger leaves floating around in there. I got rid of them. But boy, it looks terrific now. I hope you enjoy this recipe. It's quick, it's easy, it's fresh. 2 cups of tomatoes with the seeds removed, all Romas, and then 1 cup of sweet onions, you can use red, and a half a cup of cilantro, a little squeeze of lime in there, some salt, a little bit of garlic, a little bit of jalapeno, stirred around in the fridge for 30 minutes. Oh, it's outstanding. I hope you enjoy this recipe, and I hope you subscribe to our channel. That is easy to do. Little Shotgun Red's face will pop up over here in just a little bit. When it does, click on it when it says subscribe. We hope you click on that bell next to subscribe. That way you'll get all of our recipes. And over here on this side, we'll put another recipe that we really hope you enjoy. And is this the best Pico de Gallo, easy to make recipe you ever ate? If it ain't, it ought to be. This is Steve Hall in Nashville, Tennessee, along with Pretty Miss Sheila saying, good night, Sheila.
Good night, Sheila.
And she got her little head tilted to the side. She's reminding me to have you go to www.shotgunred.com, not to get this recipe because it's always right under the video, but just to check out her other goodies. We'll see you then. Bye-bye for now.